Put your mayonnaise right here, dude. Put your mayonnaise right here on this. When I was young, I used to sort of like imagine myself reluctantly being like asked to fight and just being like, okay, fine. And then just bam, 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 just all sorts of crazy, and just walking away kind of humbly afterward. Like, well, this is what you wanted. This is,
Pull out a little
I'm just
vial
that
of
good.
gasoline, light it.
Exactly. Turns into a hate crime very fast.
Not if you love to do it.
Yeah, no, I don't hate crime. I love crime. Yeah, it is. It is funny that it's
Look, our
called a hate.
son who art in heaven, right?
It is funny that it's called a hate crime when the people committing hate crimes love the crime. You make a good point.
For love of the game.
For the love of the game. That I can't help but feel as though like the Klan and white supremacists would identify with that tremendously for the love of the game. The same way like Michael Jordan had a love the game clause in his like basketball contract where he just loved playing basketball so much that he was allowed to play anywhere he wanted during the season or during the off season. He just loved playing so much.
Like he just started playing for other teams.
Yeah, exactly. And that is also how white supremacists do hate. It's just for the love of the game. It's just
dunking on fools.
Yes. Just
all right. I think we do need to put out a disclaimer that this is not a Christian podcast, nor is it promoting any sort of white supremacy. Because it does seem to come up a lot, and I think we need to address this. That we're not Christians by nature, nor are we white supremacists.
All of this is news to me, I have to say. I thought we knew this when going into this. I thought we knew that this had a sort of a vaguely rightward sort of dogishly bent to it that I was frankly enjoying. I was enjoying, to be honest. But okay, so apparently, newsflash: this is not a white supremacist podcast. So, thanks for being a big wet blanket about that. I do appreciate that. I mean, I look like
there's
one.
nothing wrong with a wet blanket as long as you give it to people and it has smallpox on it.
No, I'm just so hurt that you've changed the trajectory of this thing that we make. But maybe that's why it's been doing so poorly, is because we have mixed messaging about whether or not we are white supremacists. Maybe that's
true,
it.
Yeah.
The
I
algorithm
changed the trajectory from going super downward to like bottoming out.
Yeah, I think the algorithm is confused as to whether or not we are deeply, deeply racist. And that's why it's not really putting us up to all the proper viewers and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I typed this is unusable, and you know what I get? This other podcast that's called like Unusable or some shit.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think they've come out with an episode since like 2017 or something, so.
Oh, okay.
So it's our territory to take over.
Right.
We should message them and be like, it's ours now, bitches. You fucked up.
The trademark has lapsed, and we take ownership of it now.
Can you trademark? Can we register this?
Is it worth it? It's not. Can we?
Know.
Maybe. Probably
I'm
not.
interested in the process. It'd be fun to go through it, maybe. Someone to go through the American trademark process. Like, that has to be one of the most American things you could do, is trademark something.
Right. Say this word is ours now. That is a very American thing to do. Americans like to declare things theirs, and then people are like, well, it's not yours. And they're like, I got it right here in writing. And also I am white. Look, and you are not.
Papa Trump told me that this is mine, and I'm going to own it forever. And if you want it, you can pry it from my cold dead hands.
Whatever happened to Charlton Heston? Still alive?
No.
He got shot, right?
Seems like a lot of people are getting shot lately. I don't know what I'm referring to specifically, but no idea. But no, he's not alive. He did show up in that movie Bowling for Columbine.
Oh,
Where,
nice.
yeah, because he like right after the Columbine massacre, he was at a NRA gun rally or something very close by, very shortly thereafter, or something like that. And then Michael Moore confronted him about it, saying, "Why did you do this?" Immediately afterward, and Charlton Heston just went home and went inside. It was pretty sad.
The sad thing, and I don't want to get too sad on this podcast because that's not what we're about. We know what we're about. We're definitely not about white supremacy.
Speak for
Is
yourself.
that we didn't nip it in the bud right there. That was a turning point in American history where we could have been like Australia. They're like, no more. Not one is too many. And somehow, some way, we're like, no, this Second Amendment, when the guns were like, took fucking 2 years to fire two fucking bullets.
Right, and then you had to manually pack them back in, and then add the gunpowder, pack them back in, push them in with a pushing rod, aim and miss. That's how muskets were when the Second Amendment was written.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And then you have to, oh blimey, oh no, Reginald, pack my musket again. I'm going in with my saber.
You know that song "Paper Planes" by MIA?
MIA, yeah.
There's
I
a great
fly like
version.
paper, get high like blades.
Right. Well, the chorus is "All I want to do," and then bang, 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 bang. There's a great version of that video where instead of like hearing the bang, 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 bang of like a pistol, every bang is like a Revolutionary War reenactor, basically taking a musket, opening up the gunpowder, pouring the gunpowder in, putting in a bullet, tamping it down, firing, reloading, doing the whole thing over again 4 times. And then it goes back to the song. And then once the chorus comes up, all I want to do, it goes back to that again. And it's one of the funniest. It ends up being like a 10-minute video as a result, because it's just that guy. And it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen on YouTube. I saw it for the first time in like 2019, and I showed it to my coworkers, and they weren't amused and didn't find it very funny. And that made me find it funny.
Ben, you love inconvenience porn.
Yes.
That is your humorous kink.
That's a great way of putting it. The idea that the audience is inconvenienced and dismayed and that their time has been wasted, to me, it nourishes me in a way that nothing else does. I love it. I love it. I find it hilarious. It's a very tame kind of trolling in which, no one's really upset or hurt, but that's time they'll just never get back again. And that to me is hilarious. Like, again, I'm not sure if I discussed it on here or not, but there was this movie, Habemus Papam, We Have a Pope. And I saw it in a theater, and it was about a guy who basically is elected Pope, but he has a sort of a crisis of conscience, and he's not sure he can do it. And he spends the whole movie being like, I'm not sure if I can do this. And he goes to talk to different people who he respects. And he's like, I'm not sure I can be Pope. And the whole time when he's gone, there's these weird cutaways to like cardinals playing volleyball at the Vatican or whatever. It's kind of a weird, quirky comedy by this director named Nani Moretti. And there's all sorts of absurd things happening. And at the very end, he finally goes up to the balcony at the Vatican. And there are all these people in the square, in the piazza in front of him. And he finally speaks out to all of them and says, I'm sorry, I can't be Pope. I can't do it. And everyone's just sort of like standing there sad and like unhappy that this happened. And the cardinals behind them are like, and then they have their hands buried in their faces and stuff like that. And then he goes inside. Music swells, cut to black, end credits. And that made me crack the fuck up, because people were enjoying the movie. They were like, oh, it's funny that the Popes or the Cardinals are playing, whatever stupid sports game they have in there. Haha, quirky comedy. I can't do it. End of movie. And I laughed for like 2 minutes straight while everyone else, as the lights were coming up in the theater, was just like, okay, well, I don't know what that was about. And I'm like, what was that about? That was a director trolling you guys for 2 straight hours. And I love it.
I haven't seen this, but I'm obviously going to speculate that it clearly is the interpretation of having a choice thrust upon you and you grappling with the reality of what that choice means, both to you and to the people that it will affect.
Yes. Yes, but it was directed in and it was there was a misdirect in such a way that it was sort of a lighthearted comedy in some ways, in which people in the audience were giggling, oh, this absurd thing happened, this absurd thing happened, and then it's very sad ending at the end, and that's what made me laugh because everyone else in the audience was like, what the fuck did we just watch? Why did I watch that?
They'll get another pope, whatever.
Right, but it ends sad. It's treated as a sad moment. And that to me was hilarious.
They should have done Sopranos right when he was about to talk, just fucking cut it.
Exactly. That would have been a great idea.
Did you know that in 2010, maybe late 2009, a electronic band predicted an American pope? What they said was, "Habemos Papa Americano." Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, is it that song? Is that the song you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay.
Papa Americano. Habemos Papa Americano. Bum, 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 bum.
I had
from
to.
Chicago. Gung, gung, gung.
That puppy from Chicago. That's good.
The best thing about Chicago, you can flick a bean in public.
I'm sorry, what?
They have that giant bean sculpture. It's like a giant mirrored bean, and you can flick it.
Can you flick your bean in front of the bean while you're flicking that bean? I'm sure other people would see. But
yeah, they're selling all sorts of beans out there if you need it.
I'm talking about rubbing your clitoris.
Well, Ben, unfortunately, I have not been equipped with one. I've been equipped with a large, elongated, bastardized version of the clitoris.
What about? Can you do this with your mouse? This isn't that different, right? From flicking the bean on. If you're a woman, just here's the two, the lips right there, and then there's the clitoris, and the clitoris is down low. It is almost as well. I guess this is more. It's more up here.
Look, the clitoris doesn't exist anyways. It's like dinosaurs. I always say they don't exist. It's a giant myth. No one's ever found it. It doesn't exist. Female orgasm, fake. The male orgasm, fake. Orgasms are fake. Fake news.
We found fossils of clitorises, but that doesn't mean we found actual clitorises, is the thing. So,
yeah, I mean, why would they even have a bone in them? That's crazy.
Yeah, pubic bone? Yeah, that's fake news to me, dude. What pubic bone? It's all just a gelatinous mass of nothing down there.
I gotta say, along those same lines, there are no bones. Bones are not real. It's just white, hard muscle.
Exactly. That's a great theory, is that bones are just muscle. And that's why people eat bones, like, in third world countries and stuff, because they're actually just a hardened type of muscle. So, sorry, I didn't mean to look at my watch as if I'm bored.
I love to make Mayonnaise. I don't even like mayonnaise. I do like aioli, though. I'll lick a aioli. Fancy. Look, you can't just serve me that white jar of bird shit. You gotta, throw a little piece of garlic on top. Say, it's a different culture.
Would you lick aioli off my track roller thing on the mouse?
Dude, no.
Scroll wheel?
That thing, you shouldn't even be touching that. That's probably goes in one of those red biohazard bags. Put that in a sharps container, Ben.
This thing?
Yeah, that mouse, I'm sure, has seen some things.
Dude, I stick this mouse up my ass all the time. This mouse, it actually has vibrating functionality, which is, so I like to turn that on. It has haptic. Oh, see, it's now glowing nice and yellow.
It's
green.
a haptic, if you will.
Haptic. I got half dick. I got half dick feedback in my mouse.
I got half dick. I'm looking for a hole. Put two together, and then we'll roll.
Yeah, I'm rolling the track wheel right now. I'm flicking the track wheel. Put your mayonnaise right here, dude. Put your mayonnaise right here on this track wheel. I've been trying so hard not to blow my nose, dude. Oh my God.
My dad said to do it.
I know.
Said to do it.
But the thing is, the moment someone says, hey, keep doing that, I'm like, I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't want to do it, but fine, I'm going to do it.
This nose blow ad break is brought to you by tiny lights that are in the sky. No one knows what they are. Probably aliens, and they're probably here to kill us. So keep looking at the skies, and one day they'll blow out your eyes.
There is that one video recently of that like UFO that was hit by a missile and it just kept moving. It was like slightly blown apart. Did you see that video? Assuming it's real. There's this video of it being hit by like a missile and it gets slightly blown apart, but it just keeps moving with the things attached like that were blown off of it, moving behind it. It's crazy. Assuming it's real, it might not be real.
Ben, I think we've already covered it. Nothing's real. The simulation is all of us.
Yeah, but it's real within the context of the simulation.
Speaking of a simulation, I think it's time we bring back a old segment to the show. Welcome to the second edition of Oh Look, a book that I've spent money on and never read. This week's book is a book of luminous things. So luminous you can't even see it. International Anthology of Poetry. Edited and with an introduction by Czeslaw Milosz, who I learned was like a misogynist. So that was great. This book is full of poems, probably about turning on light bulbs. How many people would take to turn on a light bulb in the attic? 6 to turn it on and 1 to burn the house down. It's my favorite poem that I haven't read in there.
Based on the title, I am inclined to believe that it is a book about, like, literally about poems in which people describe various objects that can be, like, lit up or are light bulbs. Parties, rooms, lights.
Tiny lights in the sky.
So when did you get that book of poetry?
Oh, the old year of 2024.
And why did you come to acquire that book?
I don't remember. Somewhere on the internet, I was given this, and I was like, "Yeah, all right, that sounds like I'll read some poems." I'm in the poetry mood. And that mood quickly dissipated, just like a light bulb's light once the switch is toggled.
Nice save. A light bulb's light once the switch is toggled. That's
Look, that's on page 220. I'm just quoting this book I've read.
Right. We're judging a book by its cover. Meanwhile, you're quoting it directly, which is the antithesis of judging a book by its cover.
Right. Well, you can judge it by its cover and its contents.
That's very MLK of you. Judging a book both by it's the color of its skin and the content of its character. To quote MLK.
I mean, a 2 for 1. I love a good deal.
I had a bunch of books of poetry before I cleaned out my apartment. And like, I had a couple of them on like, poetry on the Black experience in America. And I just kind of was like, do I get rid of these or do I I mean, they don't really apply to me, but they could be, interesting insights. But what am I going to get out of them? Should I get rid of them? Would that be rude? Would it be ruder to keep them and not let someone else possibly get something out of them? And so it was a bit of a dilemma to me because I was like, well, I'm white, so who am I to decide what to do with these books on the Black experience?
So you tore it in half and put half.
Yeah, so I set them all in,
if you will.
Yes, I cut them into three. Oh my god!
All right, disclaimer. Let's go back. Disclaimer.
Yeah, I'll cut that. That's horrible. But
there's universal truths that can be found anywhere, Ben.
What do you mean?
In any writings, there's a universal truth to be found, and the application can be what you want it to be.
In any book of writing, there is a universal truth to be found, and the application can be what you want it to be. That is a little vague.
How you apply a universal truth unto your truth and experience is up to you.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't know that at the time, so I got rid of those books.
Did you put in a free little library at least, or what?
I donated them.
To a Goodwill?
Yeah.
No one's ever going to find that book. It's hard to find books in there. I was looking through the records. I'm like, Jesus. It's hard to find anything in here. No alphabet. They're not even like genred.
They don't have the alphabet?
Not for records. They're just like, fuck it. We got thousands of these. Shove it in a shelf and, good luck if you want to be there for 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean...
And then you buy it, and then it's scratched to hell, and you're like, what is my problem?
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah. I mean, when you go to Goodwill, your mileage may vary. You have to sift through a lot of crap. And I imagine, considering that the people who work there are going through, they're constantly going through all these new shipments and stuff, they don't have time to, organize shit alphabetically.
Nor are they getting paid enough to give a shit.
Exactly. And plus,
employees need incentives. Give everyone a piece of the business.
Right.
Give them a piece. Give them a little chunk. So if you profit, they profit. I don't get how that's not a universal theory that's applied.
Well, I imagine the margins at Goodwill are a bit thin. The profit margins. I can't.
That CEO is like a fucking billionaire. So.
Oh, are they? Is he? Is she?
Probably. Them's is. The CEO, Stephen C. Preston, has a salary that can vary between $650,000 and $1.1 million, and that was 2019.
That's not a lot for a CEO, man. Of such a big company, that is not a lot at all.
Well, 2003 it was between 400,000 and 900,000. So
that dude, this guy's running a charity with that kind of wage. That is nothing for a CEO. This guy's a saint for only choosing to make that much. As a CEO of a company like that, damn, this dude's Jesus.
What am I then? I must be like,
you're a chump.
The 13th apostle.
Yes.
Sorry, Pete, we can't let you into the band. We only have 12 chairs at the table.
Yeah, we're doing the Last Supper, Pete, and we've not got enough chairs to fit everyone in here, so we're only going to include the 12 apostles and Jesus.
Look, he can only make so much bread.
He can only turn so much bread into fish and multiply the wine into water, whatever it is. I don't know. But
he just uses the bread to catch the fish. Did you want to know, fun fact, that everyone was drinking wine all the time because not only was it obviously, fermented and clean, but it was very low alcohol. So it was, far less dehydrating, and you were able to just drink it all day. It was like Coors Light.
Interesting. That makes sense. They did not have the refining abilities back then to make wine the way it is now. Wine back then was really just fermented grape juice, probably.
Mm.
You know, it was
They
like
didn't know where to put their shit, so they probably put it in the river.
their shit. What do you mean?
Like their human defecations.
Well, that kind of shit. So you're okay.
So you can
well,
like trust the water.
right, but the thing is, when you say put their shit, that could mean anything. They didn't know where to shit. That means defecating in the water. But saying put their shit is just like that's like saying someone comes over and you're like, oh, you can just put your shit down over there. So I was a little confused.
Yeah,
for
and then I take a dump in their fucking rug. That's their problem. Well, that's weird. Usually I go in the toilet, but if this is what you want.
Yeah. Mr. Literal. You can put your shit right there. And then like you turn around for 1 second, turn back. There's a literal turd on the floor. Yes. I like
Mine
that.
are
That's a good
super
sketch.
cool though. They always look like that little the little ice cream. Perfect little like Hershey's little top at the top. It's great.
That's
Well, I want to say that this is Unusable. We never introduce ourselves. Let's do an intro now, and then we'll cut it to the beginning. Can you do that? Like transpose.
I can. I won't, but I can.
Right. This is Unusable. I've been Tyler Martin.
I'm Ben Steinberg. I was Ben Steinberg. Will continue to be Ben Steinberg, despite everything.
The ability of unuse is so high.
What? What? Wait, what?